house was cheap because the previous owner died there, but I never expected him to still be inside. When I bought my house, the realtor told me the previous owner passed away peacefully. I didn't think much about it. The house was beautiful, and the price was too good to ignore. The first week was normal. Then, strange things started happening. Every morning, I found my kitchen chair pulled away from the table. At first, I thought I was forgetting. But then, I started taking pictures before sleeping. Every morning, the chair was moved. One night, I stayed awake with my phone recording. Around 3 a.m., I heard footsteps downstairs. Slow footsteps, like someone was walking with a cane. I grabbed a flashlight and went downstairs. Nobody was there. But on my kitchen table was an old handwritten note. It said, "You changed everything. This is still my home." I called the police. They searched the house but found nothing. The next day, I contacted the previous owner's family. When I showed them the note, his daughter started crying. She said, "My father used to write that exact sentence in his diary before he died." Then she asked me something terrifying. "Did you move the old chair?" I said no. She looked at me and whispered, "That chair was buried with him." I thought the strange noises under my house were rats until I found footprints in my basement. I moved into a small farmhouse in Kentucky when I was 30. The house was old but peaceful. A few days after moving in, I started hearing sounds under the floor. Scratching, walking, sometimes even breathing. I assumed it was animals. Until one morning, I noticed mud footprints near my basement door. Someone had been inside. I checked every room. Nothing was missing. So I installed a camera. 2 nights later, my phone received a motion alert. The camera showed something moving in my basement. I opened the live feed. At first, I saw nothing. Then, a man slowly walked past the camera. He was wearing old clothes and carrying a backpack. I called the police immediately. When they arrived, they found a small hidden entrance behind some shelves. There was a bed, food, clothes, and pictures of my family. The man had been living under my house for months. The police later discovered he was a former owner of the property who disappeared years ago. But the scariest part? Before they arrested him, he told the officers, "I was here before he was. This house belongs to me." I bought my first house thinking I was finally safe. But on my 3rd night there, I found a door inside my wall that wasn't supposed to exist. I was 26 when I bought my first house. It was an old 2-story home in a quiet neighborhood outside Ohio. The previous owner was an elderly man who lived there alone for almost 40 years. He told me one strange thing before leaving. He said, "Don't open anything you don't understand." I thought he was just being weird. For the first few weeks, everything was normal. Until one night, around 2 a.m., I woke up because I heard tapping. Not from the window, not from the ceiling. It was coming from inside my bedroom wall. At first, I ignored it. I thought maybe it was pipes or insects. But the tapping continued every night. 3 knocks, pause. 3 knocks. One night, I finally pressed my ear against the wall.
and I heard something that made my blood run cold. Someone whispered, "Please, let me out." I immediately grabbed a hammer and started removing the old wooden panel behind my closet. After breaking through, I found a narrow, hidden space between the walls. Inside was an old mattress, empty water bottles, and dozens of photographs. All of them were pictures of my house. But the last picture was taken after I moved in. It was a photo of me sleeping in my bedroom. I called the police. They searched the entire house, but found nobody. The strangest part? The hidden room had no entrance, except from inside my bedroom wall. If you enjoyed tonight's stories, subscribe for more true horror every week. And if you've ever experienced something you can't explain, leave it in the comments. Your story could be featured next. Sleep well, if you can.